Hey, what's up guys? Rob here, and I am back with some brand new movie reviews. Now before I start, I just want to go over a couple of things, a couple of changes, if you will. Of course you see that I'm in a new area because the lighting is much better here. When I'm up in my movie room, it just, the wood paneling and everything with the light reflecting off of it just gives kind of like a yellow tint. It just does not look good. I can't wait till I actually move that stuff out of that room into a better room with more space and maybe better lighting. Maybe that will be a better experience, I don't know. But this is where I'm going to be doing videos for now on because of the lighting. Another thing is I've already started this series that I'm going to be reviewing today. I reviewed the first movie, but I had to take it down because I received a claim, and it's my fault because I was stupid, in putting some footage. It was actually a trailer and, like a small teaser or whatever, and I got claimed for it. And I tried to dispute it and all that, but that whole process is mind-boggling. I hate it. I'm baffled by the way YouTube is treating everybody. You can't even do one little thing without them getting all up in your ass. So I'm doing it over, basically. And it sucks because, you put a lot of work into something and then that happens. But also my editing software kind of took a crap on me. I have a computer, I've had this since 2011, something like that. And the editing software I have is out of date and it just does not work that good. The other day it froze up on me when I was in the middle of making a 20-minute long video. I got almost to the end and it just froze up and I lost everything. So that really pissed me off. So I had to start from scratch and I'm just like, screw it. I have a basic it's like a basic editing system, but it doesn't have any features. It's just basically cutting clips. So I just decided to make videos this way. I'm just going to be upfront with everything and not cut anything because I really can't. I can't be as creative as I want to be. So things aren't really going well for me right now as far as that. But you know what? Just try to make the best out of the situation. I just want to throw out there that I did pass 100 subscribers, and I just want to thank each and every one of you. I know I've been, MIA and, switching stuff around and deleting videos, and mostly it's because of the way things are going with YouTube. It's just, I know other people are affected by this. Either they just don't say anything, or maybe some people are affected more. I don't know. But that's the gist of it, okay? So I'm still going to be doing videos. I'm still going to be, doing stuff. And for my 100 subscriber special, that is coming up very soon. I got an announcement. So, stay tuned for that. So I said I was going to redo a review and, start a series of reviews for the Halloween season. Of course, if you watch my other video where I had this huge list of movies, basically horror movies and thrillers, movies that I was going to review for the Halloween season. Definitely check out that video. But these films were on that list. So today we are going to talk about Paranormal Activity. And, like I said, I'm going to review the whole series. Currently, there are 6 films. And I know that there's supposed to be a brand new Paranormal Activity film coming out in 2021. That's, I think they greenlit it already, but because of this pandemic and everything, I mean, I'm really interested to see how that's going to go. But, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, so this is a 2007 film, and it had a U.S. release in 2009, actually. A limited U.S. release. It was like September 2009, and then a nationwide release in October 2009, and that's when I saw it. This was one of those films, like I said, it was very hard to see it in the theater. And as I explained in the review that I had up earlier, you know, they marketed this movie in a way that, you know, made people curious on why it was so scary and why people were leaving the theater. People were actually leaving the theater during the screenings because they were so frightened. And that gets people curious again. So the marketing, the hype train was real. It was absolutely real. This film was shot for $15,000, and then I think Paramount Pictures grabbed it and then, you know, added things to it. There's like a new ending and stuff, and gained another $200,000. It's unbelievable, and it made $193 million at the box office. $193 million. That is a great profit. I mean, amazing. People were, you know, people were calling this one of the scariest films ever made. Even though I don't agree with that, I still think Blair Witch is scarier. I do think there are some creepy moments in this movie. It's found footage, and a lot of people don't care for found footage movies. And I kind of understand that, because it just depends on what you're watching. Some found footage films have been done to death. They have to deal with demons or someone getting possessed, and it's just been done so many times. But I think this movie was simple enough, and it had a interesting story. The backstory about the couple, or at least the girl, you know, it was enough to make me kind of interested in what was going on. But yeah, my favorite found footage film is hands down the Blair Witch Project. That was done way better. So this was, let's see, this was produced, written, edited, directed, photographed by Oren Peli, who also did Area 51, which is another found footage film. But, you know, he went on to produce the Insidious films and the Lords of Salem, and this was the only Paranormal Activity film that he directed, and he was a producer on the other ones, because like I said, there are 6 films in total. So yeah, here's the thing. So this stars basically 2 people. I mean, there are, you know, there's a friend that shows up, and then there's the doctor. But it focuses on these 2 characters, Mika Sloat and Katie Featherston. And, you know, they live in this house, this really nice house, to be honest. And they're being terrorized by this entity. So stuff starts to happen at night when they're sleeping, and it's always around like 3 a.m. As you can see on the cover there, it says 3. I mean, it's like Blair Witch Project, okay? Each night it gets worse. Maybe night 1 you'll see like the hall light turn on and off, or you'll hear like a knocking noise or footsteps. You know, night 2 maybe you'll see the door sway back and forth. Night 3 maybe you'll hear a banging on the wall. It gets worse. That's why I think, you know, they kind of took notes from Blair Witch, because that's exactly what happens in Blair Witch. Blair Witch, you know, night 1 you'll hear sticks snapping like someone's walking. Night 2 you'll hear, you know, noises get louder, and then night 3 you'll hear like babies crying. It just, in that way, I think they took notes. But it was cool. I mean, it was very, very simple. So they know that there's stuff going on. So they end up setting a camera in the bedroom facing down the hallway, leaving the door open so they can see kind of like a wide view, like a wide angle of the room, which is right there. So they're in the bed, and you can see a dark figure standing right there, like the shadow of the door. And you can, it's kind of creepy because you can see down the hallway there, and there's like 2 rooms and then a stairway. So perfect. I love the camera angles in this. But so they set the camera up because they want to see if they can catch something. You know, they take EVPs. They even try to, you know, go on the computer just to see if they can hear anything. from the regular mic on the camera. But Micah, you know, I said this in the review before, I cannot stand him in this movie. I think he was stupid. The way he was written was stupid. All the lines he was saying about, you know, trying to help his girlfriend find out what this is. He was going to take care of it. It's like he's trying to be a haunted investigator more than trying to help her get rid of this thing. It's almost like he wanted this thing to show up and she wanted it to leave. What kind of boyfriend is that? I mean, you're just doing it for your own personal gain. It's like, what, do you want to be popular on YouTube or something? It's like, you're getting footage. What are you going to do with that footage? I mean, it's not like you can run the demon or the haunting out by just saying leave. I mean, what is getting the footage going to do? That's what I'm saying. He keeps saying in this movie that he's going to handle it. He's handling. He's going to find out what it is. Well, you know what it is. They call the doctor who comes and he deals with hauntings. He's kind of psychic. And that's where you go over Katie's backstory. You get to learn, the audience gets to learn of Katie's backstory as well as the doctor. You know, she had a tragic event that happened when she was younger with her little sister Christy. The house, you know, burned down. They lost everything. And this entity has been following Katie ever since she was little. So it makes sense that this entity is there now because she's an adult. So she's been dealing with this pretty much her whole life. And that's kind of a crazy story. I really do like that. But again, this doctor recommends that they call a demonologist because his area of expertise is hauntings, and he says that whatever is going on here is not a haunting of a spirit, it's a demon. So they got the number to this demonologist, and, you know, Micah's like, no, don't call the guy. Katie's like, well, we need to call him. I want to get this taken care of. He's like, no, don't call the guy. That's insane. It's like, why is it insane? Stuff has been happening and you are denying it. It's like you're in denial. So she's like, you know, Katie's like, well, if things get worse, we're calling him. Things start to get worse. Okay, really bad. She starts to get, you know, dragged down the hall. She starts to stand up in bed and look at Micah standing there for 2 or 3 hours go by. Walks downstairs and sits outside in the cold. Doesn't even realize what's going on. Things start to get bad. And still Micah refuses to want the doctor's help. It's like he refuses it. It's like, again, he's in denial. It's like all this stuff is happening in front of his face, and it's like he can't bring himself to admit that stuff is bad. He wants to get a Ouija board to talk to it because he wants to know what it wants and just give it what it wants. And the doctor says it probably wants Katie. Again, Micah is in denial. He goes out and buys, or he borrows a Ouija board to try to talk to it, even though the doctor told him no. Even though Katie said it bothers her, she didn't want him to do it. Great boyfriend. Like, honestly, great. His character was such an idiot in this movie. He didn't listen to anybody. He did his own thing at the expense of his girlfriend. She should have kicked his ass out. There was one point in this film where she gets really mad at him. And it seems like the demon was pissed off at him too, because the demon basically crushes this picture frame and there's a scratch on Micah's face in the picture, but not Katie's. It's like the demon's getting pissed at him too. There's some really cool moments though, you know, like I said, when she gets dragged down the hall, some cool things they did with the bed sheets, with the footprints and the door. Just some really cool imagery and tricks that they did. Like I said, it's very simple. It's a very simple movie. So things start to get worse, and then, you know, all of a sudden there's an encounter with Katie being possessed, and then Micah. She does something horrible to Micah, and that's where it ends. And there's several endings to this movie. The original ending was scrapped, and I believe you can still see part of that on YouTube where she's sitting by the bed, rocking back and forth. But there was an unfilmed ending where she actually beats Mika to death with his camera, and they didn't, want that because they thought it would be too brutal. Honestly, that doesn't sound brutal to me. The alternate ending is brutal. The alternate ending is where Katie locks the door in the bedroom. Mika's, I guess, dead, and she looks at the camera and she slits her throat with a big kitchen knife, and that's how it ends. Honestly, I prefer that ending. I think they should have ended this, not as a series. I think this should have been a standalone film. I thought it was more interesting if she would have killed herself. I think that's, you always see, you usually always see the girl who is possessed. You almost always see her live. Like the demon always, gets expelled out of her. I mean, Exorcist is the perfect example. I want to see someone who doesn't make it. I want to see someone, I want to see the demon take over and kill the person that they're possessing. That rarely happens, and that's why I like the alternate ending. The theatrical ending, where she throws Mika against the camera. She uses the force push because, this is Star Wars. And she gets on the ground and she sniffs him a couple times like a dog would. Like, it's like, she's going to eat him. And then she looks up at the camera and she smiles like this. And then she's like that. It's like jump scares. It's like, bah! It's like, bah! That's not scary, but... The CGI looked really bad when she went towards the camera and it turned into a demon face. It looked bad. I'm sorry. I know Steven Spielberg saw the film and he wanted to make some changes. And I think one of the changes was that ending. I think he actually gave his advice about what to do. I think that was kind of a stupid decision. But... at the end, when everything's said and done, it says Mika's dead, but Katie's whereabouts is unknown. And we won't know what happened until the second movie, which they do give some light on that. But yeah, there were several endings to this, and here's the thing. I like this movie. I think it's my favorite of the franchise, which is not saying much. But it is my favorite, and I was creeped out by this film when I first saw it. I still do think it holds up today. It's a lot better than some of these other stupid demon-possessed found footage films. It's better than Devil's Due. It's better than The Devil Inside. It's better than Chernobyl Diaries, which is not really about demon possession, but you get my point. This is a lot better than some of those found footage films, okay? But anyway, yeah, this movie really got people scared and got people talking. And that's why I think it was so successful, because they knew how to market this thing. Having it limited and then going for a nationwide thing, because people wanted to see it. They were curious. They wanted to see what the big deal was, why it was so scary. And there you go. Money is made. It says right here, one of the best viewing experiences ever. It was chilling in the theater when you're in the experience itself. In the auditorium. Everyone around you is just doing this, or they're all quiet, and then someone screams or moves suddenly like that. It's an experience. You're experiencing it with other people. You sure as hell can't do that right now. Well, maybe in some theaters. Now you're at home. Pandemic, you're just like, oh my god, in front of the TV. That ain't even the same. Anyway, bah! Thought I'd do a jump scare. Anyway, that's my review of Paranormal Activity. What do you guys think of this movie? Comment down below, let me know. I like it, like I said. Is this one of your favorites? Is it your favorite out of the series? That's what I want to know. Thanks for watching this. I'll be back with more reviews, and coming up next is Paranormal Activity 2, so stay tuned.